managers are looking to set up an extended team, then they should know that the extended team has no a priori knowledge of their product, let alone their architecture. So they need to approach it from a different perspective, in the sense that the extended team is going to be training as they come on board, slowly understanding their product, the architecture, the interfaces, and that they should give time. So it is best to start from outside in, not inside out. But many prospects that I've looked at, they make this mistake of trying and evaluating an extended team from the perspective of seeing the highest value that they can add. So, for example, they would want somebody who could, let's say, structure the database, or let's say a SQL architect or a NoSQL architect. But that has the assumption that already the architect would know their system, the design, the database design, the system design well enough. Now, it that is good from the perspective of evaluating somebody. But if you want to make this concept of getting an extended team work for you successful, then you might not be doing that in the correct way. Another example is they would want, let's say, somebody who would take care of their the data analytics, and I've seen that they want somebody who would, let's say, get in place the entire data strategy for their product, if they're looking to move towards analytics. So while that is a good thing to do from the purpose of evaluating a team, but it is not good from the purpose of brooding in somebody who doesn't have um, any any idea of the product that you have been building. So it is best to start from, let's say, the some low hanging fruits, because that also gives an insight into the way the extended team will operate with your core team. So like there are umpteen places that things can go wrong, and you'll need to be on top of most of them. You'll need to tie them back. There's collaboration, there's a communication, backbone. Then there is the product knowledge, domain knowledge, the system architecture, the process, the way of working, the life cycle that you will follow while developing, and of course the when it comes to the modules, then there is the know-how of what resides where, what are those critical classes, critical components that you need to be watching, DevOps. So it is difficult to get on top of all of these at the same time. You'll need to approach it step by step, and that is the way, if you're setting it up for success, then you will have to structure the relationship going, so that you brood in the team slowly and steadily, getting their confidence up as well. Because if you get into too much of training, then you're not doing any good. You will need to get the extended team to do certain things, maybe fail a couple of times early on, point out the mistakes, learn rapidly from there, and then be in a position where they could be really confident about the value they're adding in, let's say, about 4 to 6 weeks. That's a good time frame. That also gives the engineering manager the way to assess on how the extended team is approaching things from the perspective of working with their own teams. So how are collaborations happening, how are assumptions being recorded, how are doubts getting cleared, how are some critical files, code components getting reviewed, do they understand enough, do they understand where the tests would come in, how regressions are handled, and also how the changes to the backend are being requested for. So once the extended team, because these aspects will come in as they go ahead, and as the extended team gains confidence, the collaboration, the healthy collaboration between these two teams ought to go up and then go down. I'm saying go down because at a certain point of time, then the extended team becomes confident that they know where to go and look for, they know which aspect of code to touch, they know which tests to request for testing for a regression, and then they will do that all by themselves without bothering your core team. But the initial, let's say, um, I would put it as the initial 6 to 8 months will be critical on how you will set the extended team up for success.